What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to go over the conflicting rumors, and they truly are conflicting, about Neve Campbell in Scream 6. Hopefully, people aren't getting too tired of this just yet. We'll see where this saga goes, but I found this insanely interesting because, again, it's continuing to create divides, which, is the way of the game on Twitter, in terms of people kind of putting their foot in the sand. I think a lot of relationships have been burned because of this stuff over the last couple days. I didn't want it to happen to this franchise because of how much I love it, but here we are and we have to deal with it now. So there's two different rumors, and I'll start with, I guess, the one that started first, and then we'll kind of build from there. So and this goes to, what was Neve going to do in the movie? And maybe people don't care about this kind of stuff, but I do think it's incredibly important because it's to catch up what I've said in past videos. Here's what it boils down to. If she was in Scream 5 for however many minutes, I think it's somewhere around 12 to 13, and then you go into Scream 6, how much you're in Scream 6, I do think would have some impact on the money that you're asking for, or they're saying that they will pay you, okay? And depending on how much time you're in it, and depending on how much you're getting paid, I waver in terms of who I side with. Now, right now, I'm firmly in Neve Campbell's side, but it is for a specific set of reasons. And if those reasons were to change, I do believe I would change tune as well. I truly do believe, and I'll explain what I'm talking about. So the original rumor was that she had a bigger part in Scream 6. She was telling people at the con that she was having a bigger part, or Sydney would have a bigger part in Scream 6. Now, the people that are trying to make it to be, which is it's fine. I mean, people will say whatever they want, and there's different rumors out there, and I wish no attacks, no threats, no nothing on any of these people. Truly, I'm not that kind of guy. I've never been that kind of guy. I could honestly care less, to be honest with you. So the people that are trying to say, well, she was only going to be in it as a cameo, one scene, those people are saying, well, when she says bigger part, she means like impactful part, because it would set up 7. I mean, I guess, and that does go with the rumor that we heard a couple months ago, that Sydney would get a phone call at the very end of 6 to set up a 7. But that was a rumor, and correct me if I'm wrong, that was a rumor from a person that got a lot of other things wrong. So I don't know if we should trust that rumor at all, to be honest. But the fact that, again, Neve was out there telling people she had a bigger part, I guess the question for us, because they're not giving us any answers, right? They're radio silent. By the way, nothing against the creative team. This is the higher ups. This isn't, Tyler and Matt and all them. This is higher up people. But they haven't said anything. And so we're left to discuss, what does bigger part mean? Does bigger part truly mean impactful? But I think you would say that. Oh, she's got a really big scene. I don't know if you would go so far to start like describing the one scene you're in, right? But when you say she has a bigger part in Scream 6, in my opinion, this is all my opinion, you're referencing what she did in 5. So if you're saying she has a bigger part in 6 than she had in 5, to me that's screen time, because she actually did have both an okay amount of screen time in 5 and an impactful amount of screen time, because when she was on the screen, it was impactful moments. It was reacting to Dewey's death. It was defeating one of the 2 Ghostface killers. It was going into Stu's house. It was getting a phone call. Hello, Sydney. That's impactful, all right? So she basically had everything, and I actually have never thought of it like this until right now, so I'm glad I made this video. So I am still going to firmly believe she means, when she says bigger, she means a lot of scenes. She doesn't mean one scene, all right? So that was the first rumor. Now, Jamie Kennedy actually came out in a video yesterday and reaffirmed that, said that he had also heard that she was a pretty, I think he said she has a hefty part in the movie, all right? Now, hefty also is a different word, but it really means the same thing, in my opinion, as bigger, but I think it's a little bit more specific, because now you don't say somebody has a hefty part in the movie if they're a one scene, if they're a cameo. You don't say, well, that's a pretty hefty role. No, it's not. It's not. And I think these people know that, okay? So that's one thing, all right? Now, we had a set of rumors online. Now, again, like, no threats, no attacks. And I want to give these people credit, because where this ends up coming from, the originator of these rumors, that it's actually the complete opposite. I believe rights for Scream Trilogy, I think is how you say it, they're a pretty solid source They actually leaked the script of Scream. You know, we talked about the script for Scream 5. They're the ones who got it. So they are reliable to a certain extent. But I personally, I'll say this up front, I do not believe it. I do not believe what we're about to talk about, all right? It could be real, and that's why I'm not going to fully dismiss it, and I'm not going to say, oh, that's a real stupid thing to say. No. You know what I mean? Like these people are saying it completely fine. We'll see who's right. Ultimately, we'll see who's right. Maybe actually we won't see who's right because maybe they'll never tell us, but I personally do not believe what we're about to say. So let's read it out. And by the way, Tristan here, he's the one who kind of like assembled it. This isn't from him. He is simply the messenger. He's a great guy, by the way. I've talked to him behind the scenes. Great guy. Don't levy any attacks his way. You can have things to say, but don't levy any attacks or anything against him. All right. Neve Campbell stating to fans that her role in Scream 6 is big is incorrect. Neve's role in Scream 6 was always intended to be one scene. Neve was offered just under $2 million for 4 days of shooting. All right, so that's what he said. Now, and again, not actually what he said. It's what one of the writers for the online publication or online whatever, they said. Now, here's the thing. I really want this to be fake, to be false, because this does, if it's true, this would change my opinion on whose side I stand on. Now, I wouldn't switch sides entirely, right? Like if you have like a meter, I'm fully like in the green, you know, on like a Neve side, right? Like the bar is on the axis, right? If this were to be true, I think it maybe would lean a little bit towards Paramount, maybe it would lean kind of in the middle, and I'll tell you why. I have been on record saying, and actually I've been very consistent with this, and if you don't agree, that's fine. It's just I'm not like making it up as I go along. I actually have said this before. If Neve was in 5 for 12 minutes, and they said, all right, going into 6, you're going to be in it for 6, we're going to literally cut your time in half, but because we're cutting your time in half, we want you to take half your normal rate. And I don't know what her normal rate is, right? I mean, if this is true, under $2 million, then I would argue maybe $4 or $5 million is how much maybe she wanted, or maybe she did get paid that for Scream 5 or whatever. But, you know, aside. So maybe they say that to her. I still would fully side with Neve, okay, to make that clear. If they say 12 minutes, you go to 6, and we want you to take half, and she says, no, I'm not doing half, I'm doing my rate, I would side with her. And I have said this. I said this a couple days ago. One thing I don't necessarily think I would side with her, though, is if they were to say, hey, can we have a cameo? It'll be a 30-second scene. We need you for a couple days on set. And because of that, you have to get a reduced rate. We are not going to pay you your base rate. We have to negotiate under. And then if she says no, I can see where she's coming from, but I don't think I would agree with her. And so that's it. I mean, you can dislike the video. You can do whatever you want. That has been my thought, and it would still be my thought. It still is right now. So if this is true, it would, in my opinion, it would start to fall more on Neve, where it's like, all right, well, and here's the thing. It would fall on Neve for the money. I mean, she can come at it from a different angle. She can say, well, I wanted to be, why would you bring Sydney back as a cameo? I want to be in it like full time. You know what I mean? So if she wants to take that angle, I would understand. But here's also the thing, right? And I've said this before. None of it really makes sense in general, because it's like, if she's a cameo for 6, then it's setting up a 7. So like, you would tell her that. You'd have to tell her that, or she'd find out because she reads the script. She's like, oh, this sets up the next movie. So you'd have to know that. Then she would have to know, oh, well, then I would be like a really main part of the next movie, pay raise. Maybe you get that in writing. Maybe you get them to, say something to you. I just feel like there would be more discussion, and it wouldn't, I guess what I'm saying is it wouldn't have happened this way. In my opinion, I don't think what we know of how this went out, and also you have to remember what Neve said in terms of the value versus that, right? Her quote in that statement, that also came off more like it's simply about money. And again, for me, the money, her going after money, or like the crux of the issue being about money, is fine if she was in it as much as 5 or more than 5, and she got paid less. Now that is still I'm still buying that. That's what she said at the con over the weekend. That's what the statement made it sound like. That's what the rumors originally were. And now, just because there's conflict, so here's what I'll say, all right? And I actually said this to some people online. My theory is this, and this is just a theory, all right? I'm not throwing anybody under the bus, but I think nobody that I've talked about, nobody is lying. I think that the Scream trilogy, because they're basically it's a fan-run site, much like Hello Sydney, etc. I think that sometimes you can be fed false information. In fact, it's not a surprise. It happens literally all the time. There's fake leaks that get leaked out consistently in all entertainment, politics, literally everything. And they do it purposely to get a different narrative out there. And so it is I guess you could say conspiracy, but my theory would be that maybe to get ahead of this, Paramount leaked that she was only in it for one, because in my opinion, again, factually, my opinion is if she's only in one scene, we offered her a good amount of money, because that does look more bad on Neve, right? It's like you're going to complain about $2 million. You have to show up for 4 days. It's not a big deal. That could be a theory or a mindset. That could be a mindset if that's the truth. So if you can get that out there to people, then suddenly they're saying, oh, well, is Neve lying? Did she not have a bigger part? So I feel like it was on. And if they did do that, that's even more, scummy, because it's like now it's almost like a war, right? Paramount's going after Neve. Neve took kind of the first shots at Paramount. But I would not be surprised if that happened, if Paramount kind of leaked out some truth that Neve's not coming back, and it has to do with money, technically. But the reasoning and how much she was going to be in the movie, that stuff is the fake stuff. Does that make sense? And then by doing that, nobody is lying except for the originator, whoever told the leak. That person could have been lying. But the Scream trilogy writer is not lying. That Tristan, when he's going over this stuff, is not lying. Does that make sense? So that it's an interesting thought, and I don't know if it's true. I'd like to will it into existence, but that's my thoughts on it right now. So again, I mean, this situation is nuts. I'm still gonna buy the fact that she was gonna be in it for a long time, or a good amount, and that again, the idea is she was asked almost to work more for less money. That's what I would like to believe, and not even just what I would like to believe. That's what it seems like to me. Besides this one opposing rumor, everything else points to that. And so I'm going to take that side as of right now. But, again, obviously we're still going. We'll see what happens after this. I'm not, by the way, going to make a, Neve Campbell or Sydney video every single day. I hope to cover other aspects of filming when it starts and all that kind of stuff. So there'll definitely be different Scream stuff. But just wanted to throw this stuff out there for you. Let you guys tell me what you think, in the comments. You guys have had different thoughts than me throughout this entire thing. Some of you, which is cool. I like to hear different opinions. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on so you know when these videos go up. If you want to follow me on Twitter, my Twitter is not a hellhole. You can follow me on Twitter. Podcast Now 15 is my name. The link's in the description. That would be fun. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all on the next video.